1. Avoid the wrong relationships. Have you ever wondered why so many people dive into relationships that only bring pain? Not all love is true connection. Stoics remind us the chains we choose for ourselves are often the hardest to break. Many relationships start not from strength or wholeness, but from fear of being alone. We jump in to fill inner gaps, slowly losing ourselves in the process. Being single gives you the chance to stand firmly on your own 2 feet, free from the emotional needs of others. You see clearly who is worth keeping and who only brings drama and stress. You no longer have to please anyone or justify your actions. This is a form of power many overlook simply because they fear loneliness. I've seen many people rush into the wrong relationships, sacrificing personal growth, energy, and sometimes even their sense of self. When you know how to stand alone, you become harder to fool, perceive people more clearly, and know when to say no. This not only helps you avoid pain, but also prepares you to meet the right person not out of need, but out of choice. Being single isn't loneliness. It's an opportunity to grow, build resilience, and create inner strength. By protecting your heart, time, and energy, you lay the foundation for healthy, lasting relationships in the future. This is the first step to truly living by Stoic philosophy: freedom, steadfastness, and self-mastery before opening your heart to anyone. 2. Full control over your time. Time is the one thing you can never get back. In the wrong relationship, you're often dictated by someone else's schedule, moods, and needs, wasting energy and losing sight of your own goals. Being single allows you to fully own your time. You decide how your day flows from morning to night and use your free hours to grow, learn, or pursue passions without having to explain or justify anything to anyone. Think about how many hours, days, even weekends you've lost trying to maintain a mismatched relationship. When you're single, you realize the true power of time. Mornings can be for reading, afternoons for exercise, evenings for work or creativity, all on your terms. I've experienced this firsthand. A year spent focused on personal growth can put you far ahead of those still managing drama and other people's needs. Managing time is also managing energy. No longer swept up by someone else's moods. No more pointless arguments. You preserve clean, sharp energy focused on what truly matters. These moments accumulate into inner strength, accelerating your growth and preparing you to meet the right person. Single time is the foundation for freedom, autonomy, and mastering your life true to Stoic spirit. Everything starts with how you use your time. 3. Build self-mastery. One of the greatest gifts of being single is the opportunity to build self-mastery. Free from drama and other people's emotions, you have space to develop habits, discipline, and the person you want to become. Many spend their lives managing others' feelings while neglecting themselves. But when you're independent, every action and decision is for you. I believe true freedom comes from mastering yourself, waking early, exercising, learning, reading, or simply sitting in reflection. All of it trains resilience and mental strength. But self-mastery isn't just discipline, it's also facing your fears, failures, and negative emotions. When you learn to stand alone, you also learn not to rely on anyone else for happiness or security. In reality, if you don't master yourself while single, you'll struggle to do so in a relationship. Every relationship tests you. It challenges your emotions, patience, and limits. But once you've built inner strength, you carry that steadiness into every connection. You no longer feel confused, distracted, or pulled into someone else's drama. 4. Protect your energy from toxic people. One of the biggest benefits of being single is protecting your own energy. Let's be honest, nothing drains you faster than dealing with negative people. Toxic individuals don't just waste your time, they erode your peace of mind, make you doubt yourself, drag you into endless arguments, or fill you with guilt just for wanting freedom. When you're single, you no longer live in fear or tiptoe around others' moods. You don't have to check your phone constantly to avoid upsetting someone, nor carry the emotional chaos of another person. Your most valuable energy stays intact, focused on what truly matters. I've seen too many people chase relationships only to end up exhausted, demotivated, and doubting their self-worth. Being single teaches you to say no to those unworthy. Keep your friendships and relationships clean, and build a shield against negativity. When you protect your energy, you become stronger, clearer, and ready to welcome the right person when they appear. 5. Learn to love yourself. Being alone at first can feel uncomfortable. You face silence, emptiness, and your own thoughts. But this quiet space is a precious opportunity to learn to love yourself. When you understand your strengths, weaknesses, values, and interests, you start to genuinely enjoy the person you're becoming. Many chase love out of fear of being alone, but that only makes them lose themselves. When you love yourself, you no longer need anyone else to fill the gaps. Relationships become a choice, not a necessity. I've been through this phase myself. Spending time alone taught me to enjoy silence, read, create, and take care of my body. The result, confidence grows. And when meeting others, you are no longer rushed or dependent. Self-love also lays the foundation for future relationships that are healthy, balanced, and free from fear or neediness. It's a crucial step toward living fully and freely. 6. Avoid the trap of seeking approval. One of the most dangerous traps in relationships is living for approval. You start changing your words, action, even yourself, just to please others. When you're single, you escape this trap. You learn to validate your own worth without needing praise or approval from anyone. It sounds simple, but it's incredibly powerful. When you stop chasing validation, you start living, boldly pursuing your own goals, speaking your mind even when others might disagree. I've seen how this freedom completely changes your perspective. Fear of rejection fades. Fear of being alone disappears, and the relationships you choose become genuine. Independence from seeking approval also makes you naturally attractive. People respect you not because you seek them, but because you stand firm, confident, and self-reliant. This is a form of inner strength that dependent relationships rarely provide. 7. Grow stronger in solitude. Solitude isn't weakness, it's a gym for the mind and soul. When you live alone, you face your fears, doubts, and insecurities without leaning on anyone else. At first, this can feel uncomfortable, even isolating. But this very solitude is a precious opportunity to build calmness, self-comfort, and resilience. Stoics believe that only when you learn to stand alone are you truly ready to engage in relationships without being swept away by others' emotions. I've spent long nights alone, confronting fears of abandonment or career failure. Initially, it was stressful. But day by day, I learned to calm and motivate myself. I realized no one can save me but myself. Solitude nurtures inner strength that no relationship can provide. Moreover, solitude teaches natural attraction. When you stand on your own, you no longer chase attention or settle for mediocre connections. Independence and composure radiate from within, making you stand out. People notice that energy, and you attract those truly worthy. Solitude. In this way. Train, endurance. Independence. And emotional intelligence, preparing you for life's challenges. 8. Focus on your personal mission. Being single allows you to channel all your energy into your mission without being distracted by the need to please others. When you're independent, you're free to decide how to spend your time, choose your work, projects, or personal growth path without having to explain or justify it to anyone. Stoics believe that everyone has a unique mission, and only by standing on your own can you fully commit to it. I've observed many successful people and noticed that their single years were when they built skills, careers, and vision. Free from emotional drama, they devoted all their energy to self-improvement, waking early, working intensely, reading, learning, and pushing their limits, the result achievements many only dream of. Being single also lets you live by your values, not by others' expectations. You can decline invitations, opportunities, or events that don't align with your bigger goals. Focusing on your mission not only develops you, but also naturally attracts others. People sense the passion and determination in your actions, and that is authentic attraction without trying to create it. 9. Develop emotional independence. One of the most important skills of being single is learning to manage your own emotions. Most people don't realize they rely on others to feel safe, loved, or reassured. When you're independent, you must face your own feelings, learn to comfort and motivate yourself, and overcome challenges without leaning on anyone else. This has a powerful impact on life. When you no longer depend on others for your sense of worth or happiness, you become steadier and calmer. I've faced days when everything seemed against me: work, disappointments, personal stress. But solitude forced me to look inward, calm myself, and eventually realize I could stand on my own. Emotional independence doesn't make you cold or selfish. On the contrary, it allows you to love in a healthy way, without expecting others to provide your happiness. You can care and love without fear, because you've built a strong foundation within yourself. Most people learn this late in life, but being single gives you the chance to master it early and fully. 10. Be whole before you share. The belief that you need someone else to feel complete is one of the biggest mistakes we learn from childhood. Being single teaches you that you are already enough. You don't need anyone to validate your worth, define your life, or fill a gap. You are whole from the start. This completely changes how you love. When you feel complete, you no longer rush into relationships out of fear or lack. You share love from a place of fullness, freedom, and choice, not from need or pressure. Stoics emphasize that true happiness comes from within, not from outside. When you live single and cultivate wholeness, every future relationship becomes healthy, balanced, and sustainable. You no longer settle for half-hearted love or get swayed by someone else's needs. Instead, you choose connections that bring value, support, and mutual growth. This is the strength and freedom Stoics advocate. Stand alone to be whole, and when you share, do it from a position of power, freedom, and completeness.